I would love to see a world where all animals can be happy and free and live joyful lives. Rosie, my dog, just jumped on the bed again, which she never comes in my room when I make videos, but the last time I did the animal video, she came in and wanted to come up on the bed with me, and she just scratched at the door and wanted to come in again, and she's laying on the pillows over there, so she must know. She must know what we're doing. Okay. So, yes, I would love to see a world where all animals get to be free and happy and have really loving lives, like Rosie and like our pet dogs and our pet cats, that we would be just horrified if anything happened to them, and if we saw them being mistreated and abused, we would be just horrified, right? So wouldn't it be nice if we had a world where all animals were seen with that same love and that same respect that our beloved pets are? That's my dream. If you have that dream with me, let's meditate for a more peaceful world, a more loving world, a more kind world. Okay. Bringing our hearts together as one, opening our hearts to all beings, all things, all kinds. I know there are a lot of people suffering right now on the planet. So many things are going on that are causing pain. So let's extend our hearts into all beings, all of humanity, all of the furry ones, the scaly ones, the feathery ones, the hairless ones. Let's extend our hearts into all beings. Come together as one in this moment. Shavakara-bakara-bakara-bakara-dande. Allowing our hearts to open up wider and wider and wider to the love of humanity, to the love of God, the divine source creator, for the love of the earth, for the love of every creature, great and small. Shiva karma sansaliyata kara 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 kara. Opening our hearts wider and wider and wider, so that we can bring in every species, every being, every plant, all of the waters, the sky, the heavens, the earth. Shavakara-bakara-bakara-bakara. How big can we expand our heart space? How big can we expand our beingness? So we're not only encompassing every animal that we want to be free, but we're encompassing every being who may be causing suffering to those beings at that time, at this time. We're bringing them all into our heart space. All beings who may be causing suffering to other humans, to humanity right now. Bringing them all into our heart space, because probably if they're causing suffering to other beings, at one point in time they were also not being given love, right? So how do we teach beings to be more compassionate, more loving, more kind? We give them more love. It doesn't mean we let people get away with heinous acts. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about extending our heart into the highest consciousness of love, so that all beings can be loved. Some of humanity right now are doing heinous things to the animals, heinous things to other humans. Maybe we could take that person as their child self, or as their past life self, or whatever self they were when they were not given love, and maybe we could give them the love now that they're lacking. Can we go back in time and take some of these people that are doing horrible things and love them up? Change the trajectory of their life? Is time fluid? There have been studies where they've done healings for people in the past and had an effect on those people. So is time fluid? So if we pick one person we can think of, maybe a political leader, maybe someone who's doing a lot of harm to animals, all those people and all those vegan posts that say bacon, 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 pull them into your hearts now. Hating them is not going to make anything better. But what if we can love that part of them when they were hurt, when they were abused, or when they were ignored, when they weren't loved? What if we could love that part of them now? Is it their baby self? Is it their child self? Is it their past life self? When was that person not loved? When could I step into their timeline and give them the full love that they deserved as a human being? Mate. I know it's hard to love people who are doing heinous things, and it's not that we're loving their actions or their attitudes or their intentions. It's the pure part of themselves that we are loving, the part of them that is a God being. And it's hard to see that in people when they're doing heinous acts, of course. But if we saw them as a baby, we would probably have inherent love for them. And maybe we could change the course of their timeline, the trajectory of their life. Who do you want to love today? Who do you want to choose to love? I think of people that work in slaughterhouses. They cannot have a happy life. There is no way that someone who is doing that every day has a happy life. So if I travel back with them and I see what set them up to have such a situation where they're capable of doing that, how would I have loved them if they were my child? Can I pull them out of the situation that they were in as a child, as a baby? In some past life situation, can I pull them out of that situation and just love on them and hug them and promise them a good life? So I think this would be an interesting experiment if anybody wants to. Well, you probably don't want to post names. But if you even send it into the energetic field right now, someone that you would like to help change their anger, their hatred, their misogyny, could we all go in together and help that being? What if we all put our hearts together to raise a child in love? Help them make more loving choices as they grow up. So let's see ourselves surrounded by divine love and light, and let's see ourselves creating a circle together of divine love and light, and let's see ourselves just placing in the center of this circle anyone that is creating anger and hatred and atrocities right now. And let's see if we can go back in their timelines to the moment or moments when they were not given the love that they deserved as a human being. Opening our hearts to them. Wishing for them a better life, a better experience. Showing them that they can make choices out of love. They can be loved. They can give love. Helping people to understand the difference between I want a steak and I love all of humanity and all beings. Aramate. It will happen. We will bring it to fruition. We hold our vision. We hold the light. We hold the love. We be the love that we want to see in the world. So I'm not saying love the ones that are harming others, but I'm saying what if we were able to find something in them that we could love? The baby self. And what if we could love that, and would it make a difference? Because that's still in there. Might be covered up by a whole lot of stuff, but it is still in there. I think of the song Amazing Grace, which I used to sing at my gigs 20 years ago. My dad would come and he said, "Do you know what that song's about?" Because I think he thought he was going to enlighten me to something that I didn't know. But the man who wrote that song was a slave trader. He did awful things. And that song is so beautiful because it was his turning point when he woke up. And then there's the story of Angulimala. I think his name is all right, I'm pronouncing it wrong, but he killed people and put their fingers around his neck. And everybody was afraid to go to that part of the woods outside of town because he would kill them. So they came to Buddha and asked for his help. So Buddha walked towards the woods and he thought, wow, what a stupid person. There's an easy finger for my necklace. But he wasn't able to catch Buddha. No matter how fast he ran, Buddha just kept walking. and he couldn't catch up to him. And finally he realized he had met his match, and he laid down his weapons and bowed to Buddha and said he would serve him. And he became the one in town who would give blessings to women giving birth. Hi, baby. Hey, baby. Where's my Rosie? You probably can't see it. Hi. So when they would go begging for alms, which they did at that time, that's how they ate, nobody wanted to give him anything because of who he was. But the women, the pregnant women and the mothers, knew that if he was around during birth, that their birth would go smoothly, so they would feed him. And then all these bad things were happening to him. If anybody hit somebody, the punch would land on him, or if a pot fell, it would land on him. And he was just almost destroyed. And he went to Buddha and said, you know, what's happening? And Buddha said, you just have to live out your karma. It'll be done soon. But he was transformed. He was transformed by the love of Buddha, because Buddha wasn't afraid of him. And he knew he wasn't the monster that everybody said he was. He knew that he still had a heart. Rose. Come on. Come on. Come on. Sit with Mama. Here we go. So, no matter how bad somebody appears and how awful they look to us, there's still that beautiful person inside somewhere inside. And I think the only way that they will be able to find it is if we find it for them, if we can. And all of that to hopefully come to a place where every being, animals and humans, are loved eventually. But we can hold that vision and we can keep doing the work to come to that place. I'm telling you, Rosie never does this on any other videos. This is very funny. Okay. One more story. I don't even know what this was from. It was a video I saw on Facebook recently. It might have been from a movie or a clip from a movie, but the woman, if you know it, you can comment. The woman goes up to, I guess he was supposed to be the devil. He was just, you know, this evil, horrible, evil being. And she's like a housewife. And I guess she was supposed to go fight him, but she just starts talking to him and saying, "Are you okay?" And you know, eventually he softens. And they start talking. So I am kind of interested to know what movie or show that was from. Okay, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for loving the animals. And thank you for doing these meditations with me. And we'll keep going. See how things change. I wish you could see Rosie. She's not in the shot right now, but she's being very cute. All right. Bye, Mom.